and police charge you with drugs before they even know it's drugs. This is Crimes Digest, crime news cross-examined. We don't do rumors. We test what the law can actually prove. And by the end of this, I'll tell you whether this is a necessary police shortcut or junk evidence the system should never trust. Court is in session. Here's what's going on. This is not hypothetical. A disabled grandmother was charged after a field test said the white powder in her purse was cocaine. It wasn't. A college football player was arrested after bird droppings on a car hood supposedly tested positive. And in another case, a father was charged after police claimed his daughter's ashes tested positive for meth, until later reviews showed that was wrong too. These cases are part of the reason Colorado lawmakers are now moving to limit how police use these punch-style presumptive tests. And here's why this matter. Police find a powder. They don't wait for a lab. They squeeze a cheap chemical pouch, watch for a color change, and suddenly that becomes enough for arrest, charges, jail, bond, and a criminal case before the state even knows what the substance actually is. Colorado's own bill says these tests are only supposed to be rough screening tools, not real proof, because they can react to common household items like sugar, soap, coffee, supplements, and over-the-counter medication. Now from the state side, certainty is too expensive, too slow, and too impractical in the field. Police are making roadside and street level decisions in real time. They don't have a crime lab in their trunk. And the legal standard at this arrest stage is not proof beyond a reasonable doubt. It's probable cause. So the state says field test, officer observations, context, enough to act now, confirm later. That's the efficiency argument. But the defense argument is confirm later is not harmless. Because once you're arrested, your mugshot exists, your name is in the system. You may sit in jail, you may lose work, and you may be pressured to plead before the lab ever clears you. And this is not some rare malfunction. Cited research shows false positive rates observed by agencies as high as 15, 38, and even 91%, with an estimate that these tests contribute to nearly 30,000 wrongful arrests a year nationwide. So the defense question is this: if the state knows that this tool could be wildly wrong, why is it allowed to trigger a criminal case in the first place? Now the cross-examination. Here's where I would hammer the state. If the police know that this test could confuse drugs with sugar, soap, or coffee, why is the handcuff step happening before the lab step? Additionally, if the test is only preliminary, why does what looks like punishment start immediately? If prosecutors know a confirmatory test may blow the case apart, why is a human being sitting in a cell tonight? And here's the ugliest question. Is this really about public safety, or is it about building probable cause as cheaply as possible and letting innocent people absorb the error rate? Here's my ruling. A bad field drug test may be enough for police to investigate. Should not be enough to confidently charge and jail someone when better options already exist. Some agencies already use handheld scanners, like a ramen-based devices that are far more specific than a cheap color patch. And even where departments don't have that technology, the obvious fallback is simple. Seize it now, test it fast, and stop treating a rough screening tool like real proof. Because yes, the Constitution gives police room to move fast. But if the system knows a tool like this can be unreliable, then continuing to treat it like meaningful proof is not caution. It's institutional convenience. And when that convenience affects innocent people, that's not justice. If you want more crime news broken down this way, subscribe, because this is Crimes Digest. We put the system itself on trial, and I'll see you in the next episode.